Hello, and welcome to the Bold Leadership Stories Show, where we talk about the experiences shaping exceptional lives. And today I have Mark Cowan, and Mark is a Temecula Valley resident for since you were a kid, right? How old were you when you moved here?
It was grade school, I think third, fourth grade.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
so just a
yeah,
wee lad.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's great. And so Mark, uh, you say in your bio, you're a simple family man who loves and enjoys working with any type of tech. And I've seen
Yeah.
you on Facebook. You're doing a great job, serving the community and getting your name out there. Excited to hear more about your story. Sounds like you transitioned from being a corporate guy into an entrepreneur, and I love that.
I've
I
always
really
talked
want to
about it.
know that
That's
story.
time.
And and you say, um, you heard somebody say, do what you love, right?
Exactly.
So after being laid off from a 15-year career in the real estate industry, you decided to make your side gig your full income venture, full-time
Yes,
venture.
that's correct.
That's bold.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what I was scared of in the beginning, is just, everyone's afraid to fail, I think, a little bit. And you're always told that you you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So I
Exactly.
decided,
Yeah.
and it wasn't always an option for me, and so now I just took this as the opportunity. I had a year of kind of doing a little beta testing and having it as my side income on the weekends and at night,
Uh-huh.
and then I decided, I didn't want to work for anybody else anymore. So uh,
Okay.
I
So what was that spark? When did that happen in your life? That spark of wanting to be an entrepreneur? I'm thinking it started maybe it started after you started working for a corporation. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've always talked about and wanted to have my own business, but
Did you
just
do anything when you were a kid? Did you do anything
my
entrepreneurial?
first job I ever had, I was one of the sign twirlers on the side of the road that you see for the new
Okay.
home builders and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. One of the few jobs I could find at I think I was only 14 years old at the time, so I was doing weekends on that, and then I actually moved into the real estate career basically soon after that. I worked at some fast food restaurants, this and that, but I don't really count those. But
What was it at 14? I mean, when I was 14, I all I wanted to do is play baseball and goof around and
I hear you.
do play play whatever, basketball, baseball, whatever.
I
And
definitely missed out on some, extracurricular
so what
activity.
was it that motivated you to want to go to work as a sign twirler?
Um, the ability to be able to pay for my own car, and I
Okay. So you were
uh
thinking ahead because you were 14 then, right?
yeah, my dad really put it in my head that basically told me up front that if I wanted a vehicle that I was going to have to pay for it. I didn't come from one of those families where things were just handed to me. So
Right.
so originally I got the job because I wanted a laptop. That was my
Ah,
goal.
okay. So you had
I
a
think it was a $2,000 laptop or something at the time, and I'm actually
so
so glad I didn't buy it because
you must have been a techie even then.
yeah, I spent all my spare money on gadgets and parts, and to the point where I actually had to like hide them from my dad. He'd get mad at me the money I would spend waste. He called it a waste, but uh, you
Little
know,
did he know that you'd make a career out of it.
yeah, I just, I've been learning my whole life on it. Everyone asks me how do I know this stuff? And it's been an interest, and I always tell people you'll be good at anything you spend the time on,
Sure.
just I saw an interview with Jimi Hendrix once, and he said, I'm not good at the guitar. I just play a lot.
Boy,
So
that's so true, isn't it?
yeah, and it's like, yeah, but so anybody who puts in the hours will be an expert. So
Jimi Hendrix, I remember him playing this, I think it was the Star Spangled Banner on an electric guitar with his teeth.
yeah,
He was famous for that, I think.
yeah,
That
but
was,
yeah, and he enjoys it. That's the whole thing. It's like what he wouldn't be that good at it unless he enjoyed it, you know?
so what do
So
you enjoy about being a tech guy?
Um, you know, I just something about technology and electronics and everything. I've always had an interest, and surrounding myself with that with my work is just enjoyable to me, you know.
Okay.
I've decided to go all electric in my vehicles, and you know, and I know people are scared of that, but those are the kinds of things that I'm interested in, so I'm willing to take those risks and try those things out and
Okay.
buy the newest, latest, you know, gadget that comes out when everybody else wants to wait until the second one comes out. You know, so
Like me,
you
yeah,
know,
I've got too much experience. So let the guys who know what they're doing be the
yeah,
pioneers.
I'm the guy that has had every version, you know, and seen every little change, and you know, owned every iPhone, and
Okay.
you know,
Good to
so
know.
yeah.
So what do you see coming up in the future for tech? Where do you see it going?
A lot of people ask me about AI, you know, and
Okay.
that's where tech is going, and you know, and I don't know a lot about it. I'm as curious and confused as everybody else is about it, you know. Kind of like when the internet first came out, nobody really knew what the potentials were, what we were going to use it for, you know, and I don't even think the people who created it really knew, and I think
Right.
that's where we are now, you know, and so it could be used for a lot of good, and or it could be used for a lot of bad. You know, it could just like a weapon or anything else. You know, it could be used to protect yourself, or it could be used to do harm. So
Sure. Where do
that's
you see your business headed?
my business. You know, like I said, it's just in the beginning stages here, and I'm just a sole proprietorship right now, and kind
How
of.
long ago were you laid off from your job?
It was back in December.
Wow, so it's just
December.
fresh.
Yeah,
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 all right. You're just getting started.
yeah. So I
What was
decided.
it what went through your mind when that happened? I mean, you've always had a tech mind
Yeah.
and you've always dabbled in it, but it didn't sound like you've ever really done it, made it serious in your life. It's
No,
just
not
always been
really.
fun.
It's always just been for fun, you know,
Yeah.
and or anytime somebody, you know, I've been doing customer service for my whole life,
Is that what you
basically.
did in real estate?
Yeah, I worked at the Association of Realtors for the last 15 years here locally and
Oh,
in Houston.
SRCAR?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, you know, and things have changed a little bit in the real estate industry, and basically my position was eliminated, and I had to make a decision. Where do I want to go work? You know, and
Yeah. What happened to make your job obsolete or be
I
eliminated?
think it's
Was it
just
tech?
slow. I mean, the truth is I had a history with them, and they hired me back and kind of made a position for me. But
Okay.
as time went on, you know, real estate was membership was going down, not up. You know, so
Right.
that's
It's really cyclical.
yeah. So you know,
I've dabbled in a little bit. I sold loans for a while and had my realtor's license.
yeah,
So
you never know. Who knows? I could go back one day, but I just decided I was you know, I want to make my own schedule. I want to be there for my kids. I want to
how many
uh
kids do you have?
I've got two kids, and
Okay.
not 9 and 12, so I'm able to
Okay.
pick them up from school and take them to their sports games and practices and stuff like that. And that's just something I couldn't do with an 8 to 5 before, you know?
So you've got probably some, you kids are like at they're a great age, but you're moving into your, um, the spending zone of,
Oh,
of,
absolutely.
of you
Absolutely.
having kids. I mean, there's like just so much demand for cash flow.
Oh, it's a money pit.
What
Absolutely.
went through your mind when you got laid off about that decision to go for being, an entrepreneur and having your own company versus going out and trying to find another job?
Well, lucky for me, you know, my wife has an income, and that gave me the
Okay.
ability to take the risk, I would say.
All right.
Maybe in the past, I was the sole provider, and she was the stay at home, and that type of thing. And so now with her back to work, I have that option, so
Hmm.
I guess I was less afraid to fail, if you could put it that way, and
Well, hey, that's it's
so,
there's
you
no
know,
failures. It's either win or learn, right?
right. So, and now I look back and I just, like you hear everybody say, sometimes you wish you would have done things sooner. And I've always talked about wanting to do this, and the potential and everything. And now I just took that being laid off as, it's like, why not? I've already been doing it on the side and I love it. Why not just be more available and go headfirst into this? So I decided to join the Chamber of Commerce, and that's literally when I got on social media. I haven't even been on social media for the last 10 years, uh,
Hmm.
so when I got laid off, I decided, well, if I'm going to start making connections, and I need to get out there and show my face, brand myself, and
Yeah,
um,
well, I'm going to show your Facebook page. You're using it as a website now, right?
pretty much, yeah. I get asked about a website a lot, and this was the easiest way for me to get up and running. Everybody knows how to make a Facebook. It's pretty foolproof, and
Sure.
but I mean, I could even take appointments there. People can message me,
Yeah, call
call me.
now, message, it's all
Yeah.
there.
So when I set it all up, I just kind of thought, man, I figured even if I did have a website, I would be directing people to my Facebook anyways, and that's kind of
Right.
where it's so easy to connect with people on there. And I know
And
there's a lot of people that have moved away from social media, just like I have in the last 10 years. But
right.
if keep away from the drama, and
Yeah.
it's
Well,
intended,
you can
then
kind of bypass all that too. What
exactly.
I love, what caught my attention about you is that you're taking this really simple idea of um, kind of edifying a client with a picture on Facebook. And it's like a little testimonial,
Exactly. Exactly. 'Cause,
and it's
you
really
always ask
cool
people
because
to write you a
everybody seems
review,
happy.
but
You're giving them good service and you're giving them, you know, I'm sure look at all these. You've been doing this for
what's a
like
better
three
review
and a
than a
half
smile,
months. Yeah. And they all have a little story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone's got a different need, and the truth is I tell all my clients, I learn something at every appointment. I go away learning something new, whether it be about life or or tech,
Sure.
So,
Oh, that's
it,
fantastic. I mean, that's just really cool about being part of the community and adding that extra little service of giving them a shout out because most of them are business owners, right?
honestly, most of them are retired. I do have
Okay,
a few business clients on there that you'll see, but I'd say 90% of my clients are retired, and they're senior citizens who need this type of help.
I see. So
Uh,
what's your favorite kind of thing to do? What's your bread and butter right now? What do you like to
Well,
do?
I think the main reason my phone rings, is somebody's having a problem with their printer, their TV, their internet. It's usually an emergency. It's always something that goes down, and it's like, I need this now. And they call a friend and they say, I don't know what to do. Frontier can't get here till next week. Uh, do you know anybody? And that's where the referral program comes in. And I've got a pretty good reputation with my clients, to where anytime something comes up, that's I'm easily referenced, and it's just the possibilities are endless. I help anybody, anything from, because I'm not a contractor, I basically just tell people, I won't put a hole in a wall, but I can help you set things up, and all the things that Frontier won't help you with when they set up your internet and everything. They usually just come in and install it and they walk away. or Best Buy, you pay them to come in and install your TV, and now you've got a smart TV, but you have no idea how to use it, and
Right. It's so
uh,
smart. I don't know how to figure it out.
right. So they claim to have training and stuff like that, but in my opinion, I just have that personal touch and
Mhm.
ability to teach a little better, so I've taken my experience in customer service, for the last 20 years, since I've been working since I was 16, and now I'm just using those skills in my own business.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. What advice, Mark, would you give to a young entrepreneur, starting out uh, at this point, based on your experiences so far?
Well, I think, like I said in the beginning, is don't be afraid. I think I was a little too scared to start this sooner, and
What were
I
you afraid of?
um I think, I was so used to having a paycheck, you're getting paid every 2 weeks. And I think that the idea of commission, even just real estate, just because I was in the real estate industry, I never got my real estate license. And everyone always asked me, why didn't you? And I think it was that same fear of, well, if you're kind of personally responsible now. And I kind of felt like I was the person that needed to be told to have a schedule and need to be there at 8 o'clock and work 8 to 5 and then go. But now I'm realizing I love this so much better. I can look at my calendar and decide when I want to work, and
Mhm.
and what works for my client works for me, and then in the off time I get to do what I want, so
Yeah, yeah. How
and
has
take
it
care of my
benefited
kids.
your family life?
Oh, I love it. I love it so much more, just because I'm able to arrange things in that manner. If my son has a soccer game or a basketball game, I don't have to work on Saturday.
Mhm.
Or if now I've just recently decided I was working Saturdays, and now I'm doing Monday through Friday now. And these are all the decisions that I can make. I don't have anybody to go ask hey, can I have Saturdays off now? I get to set my own price. I get to, you know, uh, those are the things I really love, and I've undercut myself big time just to prove my worth, and I think it's paid off. Everyone told me in the beginning that I wasn't charging enough and this and that, but I, uh, I knew it would pay off in the end, with the referrals and a long time relationship,
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, that's great. Thinking long term, I think is a really good way to approach life and business. That's how I've always been. Some people aren't. Some people are really into that, instant gratification. Got to get the deal done quick and then move
Yeah,
on.
I treat these people like family. I give
Yeah.
them honest advice. I'm not here to sell them a product. The product is me. And so I'm not here to make commission on anything. I just am asking to be reimbursed for my time and my knowledge and expertise, and that's usually good enough for most people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a little story about it was a machine shop, and the machine that they were using that day broke down. So they brought in an expert, somebody to fix the machine, and he came in with his toolbox and he looked at the machine, asked some questions, and took his hammer out and just hit the machine in the right place, and boom, 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 it started working.
Uh-huh.
And then everybody was happy. Plant manager was ecstatic. Said, "Great, this is fantastic." And then he gave the plant manager the bill, and the plant manager said, "Wow, why is this so much? This is a lot of money. All you did was come in for 3 seconds and bop the machine with your hammer." So the mechanic took the bill back, tore it up, and rewrote it. Instead of having one price, he said there was two prices. One price was for the labor of taking the hammer out and popping it, and that was $1. And then knowing where to hit the machine and how hard was a was $999,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah,
So that's kind of what you're doing.
absolutely. And I get that feedback from my clients a lot. And I try to show them how, and they say, no, it's about knowing how to do it. It's, where to look, how to look,
Well, I can't tell you how many hours I've spent trying to fix things, and having someone that knows what they're doing, that those hours add up. They take a lot of toll on you.
I'm
Coming
learning
up
that
with,
myself. And now I just, if it's out of my expertise, I just hire the expert because it's not worth my headache.
right? Yeah,
You know.
that's fantastic. So what do you guys do around Temecula Valley for fun? You and your family. You've lived here your whole lives, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, they're very, very involved in sports. Both my kids play sports,
What do they like to play?
soccer and basketball mainly.
Okay. All right.
Um, just bought some rollerblades. I grew up in the 90s, so I just got some skates, and me and my daughter have been getting into skating lately. So
Oh, that's cool. I used to do that too. I had the helmet, and then I had to get the wrist pads and the elbow pads and the knee pads and the hip pads and all
yeah,
this stuff because I'd fall down all the time. They'd look
oh,
at
it
me.
was
They didn't want
terrifying,
it. My kids didn't want to skate with me because I looked like, you know, the Pillsbury Doughboy with all this padding on.
right? Yeah, it's a struggle to get him to wear his helmet, but I'm you got to do it. You got to do
Got
it.
to do it.
But no, yeah, we're not a super active family, but we try to get out there. We'll go to theme parks and go to the beach and take the dog to the dog beach and just enjoy the California weather. That's our favorite thing to do out here is just love.
Where's the dog beach?
Huntington. Huntington is our favorite place to go.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
I
it's
didn't
really
know
dog
that.
friendly.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So being in Temecula Valley, what do you like best about starting your company here? And what do you see, where do you see the future for businesses here?
Well, I love the chamber. First of all, they're very supportive. It's been very welcoming and very easy to get involved, and there's lots of events, and they just seem very into helping local businesses. And anywhere
So
from
which chamber are you a member of the chamber?
Temecula Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, you did say
Yeah,
that. Okay.
yeah. But yeah, I just joined right in January, same time I made the Facebook. I met an ambassador from the chamber. He's
Uh-huh.
from Sofa Spectrum right here on Jefferson in Murrieta. Might be considered Temecula in that territory.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I met him while I was working at the association promoting an event and kind of told him about my side business at the same time. And things just kind of sparked from there. And I think that connection just kind of grew and convinced me that no, there's no reason to let this go and why not dive headfirst into it and what's the worst that could happen, right?
Yeah. So have you always had kind of a side business?
Not always, no. It's only been the last year or so. The last year,
What was it that went through your mind? Oh, I need a side business now. Is there some kind of thing
um,
that happened at work that kind of give you an
honestly,
idea?
it turned into helping a friend to helping a friend's friend, and then doing it all for free, and then being offered money and taking a tip here and there, and then realizing, well, this is taking some of my time and I do like doing this, and it just turned into a business. It turned into just helping to a business,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
so that's where my idea came from. But as far as working in Temecula, I love the weather, I love the people, everybody's willing to support another local business. They seem to focus on shopping locally, and I
Mhm.
think that really helps.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Um, there's a question that I ask everybody on the show, and usually towards the end, but it's taking your whole life into consideration. What's the boldest leadership decision that you've made, and what were the consequences?
Boldest leadership decision I've made. Well, I think sometimes biting your tongue in a corporate environment is hard, and
Yeah.
I think that ultimately is some costed me my job at some point, and that I think, even though I think at one point I thought I was being a leader and being determined and this and that, but
Uh-huh.
sometimes, you have to just take no for an answer. So,
Yeah. Oh,
uh,
I was corporate and then I had business of my own, and I was kind of caught between the two for a number of years. That's not a good place to be, but
yeah,
it was tough. But I remember I took a job with a small little company, and it was a startup franchise, and I've got 30 plus years of selling experience. I've sold companies like Apple and Hewlett Packard, big companies, millions of dollars worth of stuff, created solutions. Yeah, crazy. And then I go to work for this little company, and I'm thinking I know how to manage myself. And the owner of the company decided he wanted to micromanage me. What I thought was micromanaging,
right.
like calling you every 10 minutes, where are you? And what are you doing? And then going somewhere and him calling me up and saying, why are you there? And just crazy. And
Yeah.
it got to me. I was like, you could see the red coming up. And I
Hmm.
finally blew up at him one day, and it felt good.
Yeah.
But the next day he came in and said, see ya,
Right.
you know,
Right.
because it's like, it just didn't work. So yeah, holding your tongue sometimes is discretion is the better part of valor,
Yeah.
is what they say.
And that's ultimately, I worked for SRCR here for about 8 years, and I think that's where I kind of got with my career, and then ultimately I left, and that's I did come back after about 8 years, and then after a year, that's when it was the layoff. I didn't leave on bad terms or anything like that, but
Hmm.
the first time kind of was, but it
Yeah.
wasn't bad enough to where they weren't willing to take me back. So, we did have a great working relationship. And so it's something I regret, something I've learned from. And so, yeah, I
Right.
think,
Yeah.
where I thought I was being a leader, sometimes it really, I needed to be more of a learner at that time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like this being an employee, there's like good and bad, right? You can
that-
do the right thing and you can do the wrong thing. If
right,
you do the wrong thing, there's consequences. Maybe you get written up, or there's something that doesn't happen for you. Like they don't promote you, or you get put on a bad list, right?
right,
When you're working for yourself, the only judge you've got is your clients
exactly.
in your marketplace.
Yeah.
And you have the option really to say, I don't want to listen to you.
Yeah, and
I
that
don't
is
want to
one
pay
of my
attention to you.
favorite parts about it is, you get to pick and choose. If you don't want the job, you don't take the job. And there's very few
Yeah.
jobs that I've turned down, just to make that clear. But
You got to. There's some clients out there that are good clients, and there's some
yeah,
clients out there that are bad clients.
yeah,
And I've learned that lesson. And you get into, starting to work on a project, and they start micromanaging you and telling you what to do, and or just being really kind of a pain. It's
yeah.
like you can say, bye,
And
go
back
find
to
someone
back
else
to
to
your
help you.
your question about advice for a new entrepreneur, I think I my best answer to that now, after we've talked a little bit, would be to trust your instincts.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
Anytime I don't, I regret it. You know,
there
uh,
you go. I
and
love that. That
and
now we're getting somewhere.
and
Yeah, trust your
that's
instincts.
because I
I
think there's
think
only
that's
been once
so
or twice
important.
where I kind of ignored it, and then even talked with my wife and said, "Hey, I'm not having a good feeling about this one," and what lo and behold, didn't turn out as expected, you know, but
Right.
few and far between. But so that's the main part of my business, is keeping people happy when I'm walking out the door. If that's why I like to take a picture with them, and show, you know, we're smiling, we're in
Yeah,
good spirits, you know. So if they're not happy, then you know we have to discuss that and fix that before we move on.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love what you're doing. I love your approach, and your energy is great. And I'm excited to be able to share your story on my show. And
Thank you.
yeah, our time's
Appreciate
about
it.
up, but any
It did
last
go quick.
thoughts? Yeah. Oh, it goes quick. Quick. Any last thoughts before we?
I just want to thank you for picking me and seeing me on social media and taking the time to reach out. And I think it's really great what you're doing. Just like I said about business in Temecula, it's just everyone. It's all about support and helping people, and it's all about connections. You know, you never know what one handshake will lead to. So I look forward to the next endeavor, and please keep in touch.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You're part of the Bold Leadership Stories Club now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're going to do some more stuff. I'm planning some events, and we're going to do more stuff. So I'll invite you, yeah, any and all of that. And love to have you participate.
I'm all about it, my friend. Thank
Awesome.
you again for having me.
My pleasure, Mark. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Jim.